Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this edition of the Primetime Newscast in the English language on Canal the International. I'm called Morinzi at top. Carried out by Cameroon's defense forces on children and a pregnant woman in the northwest region of Cameroon. 2 years on, families of victims are still stationed in Bamenda over the weekend as our shop proceeded in emptying the coffers, not knowing elements of the command and support battalion were on duty. And last November presented a report to the Minister of Environment, this day the nation's political capital, Yaoundé. And February 14 is commemorated as Valentine's Day, a day abundance love is shared among lovers, our friends, and our families. In this edition, we live the magic of a Valentine's Day. Good evening once more. Today marks exactly 14 months, 2 years since the Gabo massacre carried out by Cameroon's defense forces on children and a pregnant woman in the northwest region of Cameroon, and over 9 children of 10 years and below were murdered in cold blood by soldiers who were said they were in search of separatist fighters. 2 years on, families of victims are still begging for justice for the assassination of their loved ones. And 3 assailants who held workers at gunpoint at a police at a fuel station in the northwest region of Cameroon have been shot dead. The operation was carried out by the military who watched the assailants carry out their actions. More in the following story with Regina Leke-Tandak.
These are the rifles recovered after a military operation in Bamenda brought down 3 assailants. The 3 men were killed at Mile 5 in Bamenda 3 subdivision Saturday, February.
On a 22-page document, Cameroonian youths who attended a COP26 climate change conference at Glasgow last November presented their report this day to the Minister of Environment and Nature Protection in the nation's political capital, Yaoundé. The ceremony, which was in the presence of the core parties, Italy and UK, was for the government to integrate some of the reports that were taken during the summit. More in the following story.
The proposals by Cameroonian youths on how to foster the fight against climate change in the country is the content of the 22-page document printed out in colors. Emerging and crucial changes that the governments and development partners need to take into consideration.
We wanted to encourage the media to get involved into climate change reporting, because climate change is not about us, it's about everyone and the grassroots, the mother back in the village. The second thing we're trying to talk is climate change education, wherein it's for everybody. If we are able to transform our conscious mindsets by inculcating good practices or best practice of environment, it'll be great. And lastly, we're trying to see how we could involve youths in decision-making, decision processes.
What they handed to the Minister of Environment, Nature Protection and Sustainable Development Monday in Yaoundé. A kind of COP26 follow-up after the Glasgow, Scotland separation last November. A UN climate change conference co-partner by Italy and the United Kingdom.
We are really pleased to be able to support Cameroonian young people in the presentation of their recommendations, which they prepared before COP26, about what the Cameroonian government should do to support efforts against climate change. Accompanying them today is part of our ongoing engagement as being presidents of COP26, and we're very grateful to our Italian partners for all of their engagement. And we're continuing to work with the Cameroonian government on those, particularly around the areas of the protection of land and forest. And we hope that we'll be able to work together with the government on those in the future.
The need to support the youths in this fight is seen in the presence of the Italian ambassador to Cameroon, Filippo Scamacca del Mogo, and the British High Commissioner to Cameroon, Christian Denis McClure, at the presentation ceremony.
64 new owners of low-cost houses at Banga Bakoko in Cameroon's economic city Douala today officially received their keys from the Minister of Housing and Urban Development. The ceremony this Monday, February 14, at Banga Bakoko was filled with emotions, with some beneficiary disclosing it took them 10 years for them to finally get the keys to their houses. They described the entire process as cumbersome, with some abandoning out of frustration. Minister Celestin Cliquez called on the beneficiaries to respect the rules and regulations of proprietorship and co-proprietorship and ensure proper management of their spaces. Banga Bakoko low-cost houses project is in line with a project to construct 10,000 low-cost houses and to develop 50,000 plots for the construction of houses launched by Cameroon government in 2010. Let's take a listen.
And I've told them that
That prevents 1,000 people a disturbing situation that has pushed the community development and epilepsy foundation to cry out loud, especially as no one seems to care. In a press conference this day in Yaoundé, the problem was reiterated as we hear the following story.
According to statistics, 50 million people in the world are affected by epilepsy, 10 million in Africa and about 5,000 people in Cameroon. Disturbing statistics which the Community Development and Epilepsy Foundation calls on more vigilance as Cameroon joins the international community to observe the 7th edition of the Epilepsy Day.
That we have come across, that other persons have studied, it shows that in Garawa, the hospital information shows that it is 6%. In Batibo in the northwest, where we come from, it shows that the prevalence rate is 5.5%. And in Cliquez, it is 6%. The prevalence rate in Cameroon of epilepsy is more than the prevalence rate of epilepsy in the world.
Talking to the men and women of the press this February 14 in Yaoundé, epilepsy defenders are of the opinion it is time to intensify the fight against this health pathology, claiming many ignorant lives.
International organizations and local organizations carry out epilepsy awareness and sensitization in schools, both in primary and secondary schools. The families of persons of epilepsy are stressed up due to lack of finances, out-of-pocket treatment. And so we are advocating for the low cost of anti-epileptic drugs.
Epilepsy is characterized by recurrent seizures with many unknown causes. Others are due to brain damage from perinatal injury, head injury, stroke, brain tumor, genetics, and many others. High time epilepsy also gets the attention it deserves, like the other health pathologies.
A renowned lecturer at the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication at the University of Boya has called on English-speaking journalists here in Douala to be innovative, creative, and carve a niche for themselves so they excel without limits. Professor Chetita was speaking while exchanging with English-speaking journalists in Douala Kamasejdi at the usual monthly gathering where a focus was on the professional corner with central theme what research tells us about Cameroon journalism. Professor Chetita exhorted members to think about personal development with brand, and these, he said, can be materialized if journalists work in synergy with their role model and source for external links that will aid in boosting their career, adding that there are many opportunities for journalists to exploit out of the country. Let's take a listen to Professor Chetita.
The training facilities are not detailed enough to take care of specific journalism discipline. I believe that there's enough scope which exists today for journalists to develop themselves personally by going to look for information on the skills and knowledge which is required by the specific journalism discipline they would like to get into. So it's left to the journalists to put effort and time in acquiring these skills and knowledge to be able to practice in a distinct, specific journalism field.
Any more questions?
And today, February 14, is commemorated as Valentine's Day. A day abundant love is shared among lovers, friends, and family members. The affection expressed in and mere words. The magic of Valentine's Day with a reporter, Hyacinth.
His package for the wife on this special day is exceptional. Beautiful bouquets of rose flower, the content enriched with some shining banknotes. His reason for the gesture is clear. According to him, there is no genuine love without a financial value.
You know, women, anything that love that does not accompany money is not love. No matter how no matter how good you are, no matter how you appreciate your wife, when she starts asking you money, I say I don't have. No matter how blessed she is, she will turn one day to be from blessing to something that I don't know how I can explain to you. So you must show her money, you must show her love.
The magic of offering flowers to loved ones. They came rushing in their numbers to grab the symbolic gift.
Je l'ai fait pour ma mère parce que je l'aime beaucoup et j'aimerais offrir cette rose pour cette Saint-Valentin.
While some go for artificial flowers, others settle on the natural type for specific reasons.
C'est pour ma mère. J'ai choisi une fleur naturelle pour elle parce que j'aime tout ce qui est naturel.
Unlike Clement, others choose to accompany their flowers with some cajoling items.
I'm glad to send a package to my wife according to the special day of Valentine's Day. I put a wine, chocolate, and of course flowers. Red flowers to show her my love and gratitude.
Not even the increase in the flower prices this February 14 could discourage the lovers from getting their heart-desired parcels from these markets. After all, true love, they say, is expensive.
Statistics from the Cartel of Businessmen, ECAM, has proven that most vision bearers and managers of company hardly share a vision and goals, which has caused the closure of thousands of companies around the world. Cameroon Inclusive, a boot camp by ECAM, has taken place in Douala with the goal to change a mindset and to foster collaboration between employers and employees. More in the following story. It's unfortunate we can't have that story due to technical problems. We have come to the end of this edition of Newscast on Canal the International. Thanks so much for watching. Coming up next is the brief. We'll be back same time tomorrow. Good night.